Hey guys, I'm the vlogger. It's that time for me. It's been my 2-year anniversary since I got my mastectomy. If you don't know what a mastectomy is, it is removal of all breast and breast tissue. And usually following mastectomy, we get what's called a reconstruction if you're able to. I did do reconstruction on my breast. It's crazy because when I got the reconstruction, they almost kind of hyped me up like, oh yeah, it's like a free boob job. That is probably the biggest breast cancer myth I've ever heard in my life, and I'm going to talk about things like that. I'm going to tell you guys who I was before breast cancer. I'm going to express to you who I was during the treatment of breast cancer, and then I'm going to tell you who I am now, and hopefully this explains why I do things the way that I do. I think this video is important because we need to not only help other girls, women, and sometimes men that have breast cancer, but I think it will also put some insight to caregivers. Of course, I still can't talk. The caregivers, because the people who take care of you during treatment are some of your most valuable people. It usually isn't who you expect, but hopefully this video gives some insight to anyone whose life was affected by the breast cancer. So what was the big deal? What am I doing different this time? Why am I so hyped? I don't know if you guys can tell or not, but I am topless. Topless. Why? Because what better way to talk about my 2-year anniversary of my mastectomy without showing you the results of my mastectomy and reconstruction. Yeah, so this is why I say this is not like a boob job, because if anybody actually went to a surgeon and got a boob job and came home like this, they would definitely be on some type of botch. They would be like, what the fuck happened? So please, 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 if you know someone who has breast cancer and is going to go through this, please do not tell them they're going to get a free boob job. That is like so not the case, and it's honestly insulting. But yeah, okay, so who was I before breast cancer? I was a full-time student, I was a full-time mother, and I worked full-time. I can be honest and say I was not the best mother before because I was too focused on the future, getting shit done, my 5-year plan, and I wasn't focusing enough on the present. That fucking sucks, but it's honest truth. And I remember I grew my hair out like long as shit. Like I did the natural thing, and then I just like one day woke up and wanted to cut it all off. I honestly think that was God getting me ready for what was about to happen, because that was about 2 months before I found out. So yeah, my hair was actually, I'll put some pictures up now. So my hair was short. I had the Halle Berry thing going. Yeah, girl, you was cute. Then it was about, so what makes this crazy is because one of the other big myths that we hear is that breastfeeding prevents breast cancer. I would like to say that that cute little girl Grace that I introduced you guys to not too long ago, I had just had her and I was breastfeeding her and I got breast cancer. I'm not saying that caused it, I'm just saying it didn't prevent it. So don't let anyone tell you that you need to breastfeed to prevent breast cancer. It's your choice, it's your prerogative, whatever. I felt the lump, it was on my left side. When I would breastfeed, it was just this one part of my breast that I just felt like never went back to normal. And I was like, man, is this milk or something? Because Jesus, it's like not getting better. And I'm like, man, this must be a clogged milk duct. So then a few weeks later, I would lift my arm up and it would actually dimple. I don't know if you've ever looked up symptoms of breast cancer, if you ever felt a knot in there, but one of the biggest signs of breast cancer is the dimple. So I was freaking the fuck out. Also, my grandmother had breast cancer, so I was like already huge on breast cancer awareness. She passed away of it, and her sister actually is in remission from it right now. And they were in their 40s when they got it. I was 26. But anyway, so I go to the doctor, he touches it, and he's like, you need to go get a mammogram. I'm like, Doc, huh? What? What you mean? I need to get a mammogram. Is there something wrong? He was like, you just need to go get a mammogram. I'm gonna go ahead and go past the boring shit. Yes, that mammogram led to my diagnosis. I mean, yeah, obviously there was a biopsy in there, there was an ultrasound of my breast in there. But I just want to really talk about getting diagnosed with breast cancer. So after I went through all the tests to find out if I had it, I already felt like, okay, they would never be doing all this if I didn't have it. That mammogram must have showed them something, right? So the day that I got diagnosed was July 28th of 2015. Excuse me. I got all dressed up and I said, you know what? There's no way that I have breast cancer. I am 26. This got to be some milk. Like this has to be some kind of mad little cyst. I don't know, but it can't be breast cancer. So I got all dressed up and I went to the office by myself. And one of my very good friends, who I love to this day, without her, I don't know how I would have done this. Jamie is her name. Hey, Jamie. But Jamie was like, girl, you cannot go this by yourself. And I think because she knew, but she wanted, you know, to be the best that she could be. And she really was the best because she had a mother that just went through this and she knew what to expect. So she met me at the doctor's office and they sat me down and the doctor just came in there like, yes, the lump is cancerous. And I was like, you know, I didn't really know how to take that. So she ended up explaining to me that she had two different doctors, her and someone else, look at my results from my test, and they both diagnosed me with stage 3 breast cancer. She then went to tell me that the treatment was going to be very aggressive and that they had to act fast and I had to get a port. And I don't know if this is my scar from my port. See it? Yep, the port was there. And that's how I got my chemo. She said that I was going to go through 6 horrible rounds of chemo and that I would definitely lose my hair. And it was like, hold up. I'm about to lose my hair. Not, I have cancer, not everything else she said, but she said I'm going to lose my hair. And it was just really hard to hear that. More than anything, was it hard to hear about the fact that I had to lose my hair. I don't know why that was so hard, but it was. So then she said I had to go through radiation. She said I had to also get a mastectomy and lose at least one of my breasts. I chose to lose both because I'm like, I'm not about to keep the right one and just sit here and wait for the cancer to come over there. Like, if I gotta lose one, I might as well lose both. They'll just reconstruct them the best they can. So that's what I chose. And yeah, then she explained radiation. So from that day, I started chemo. That was on July 28th. I started chemo August 25th. They really did not play. And I lost my hair a week after I started chemo. I'm gonna go ahead and put some pictures of me with no hair so I can get myself together really quick. Okay, sorry. Anyways, here are the pictures of me with no hair. I'm actually off to the side here on purpose because I want you guys to see a few things throughout the presentation. So yes, chemo was the worst thing I have ever experienced. It was horrible. It was heartless. It was, I mean, there were some days I really felt like dying would have felt better. And it's not because I'm not grateful for life. I'm very grateful to be here. I'm so happy that I'm still here with my children, but just, oh my God, I can't even put into words how horrible chemo was. It was something that is not to be taken lightly. And I also had got really dehydrated, ended up in the hospital for a week. It was just like crazy shit happening. So yeah, chemo was awful. I showed you in my last video some of my chemo looks. Feel free to check that out. I did find ways to glam myself up through chemo though. You know, I learned how to do makeup through chemo because I had such a blank surface, and that it just made me feel better to have something that made me feel like a woman on my face. I had to go through menopause while I was going through chemo, which was weird because I'm like 26 in menopause, having hot flashes and wanting to kill people. So chemo's done and it's time to plan for the mastectomy. I thought that chemo was the worst thing that I could ever experience. Waking up after a mastectomy is awful. You go there and you try to be positive, and I'm also going to include some Facebook posts from that day, February 1st, 2016. I'm going to include some Facebook posts. I'm going to show you guys some pictures. I had a really good support group that day. When I woke up from that surgery, I immediately felt awful. It was pain. It was like, you know, something's missing. Of course, when I could make my hands work, because I was down for like 8 hours, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm flat chested, because they take everything out and then they fill it up over a few weeks. You can definitely Google that process. I'm not going to talk about it today. It's just not necessary, but the actual surgery part was horrendous. It's so much pain associated with that type of surgery. I mean, it's an amputation, and anyone who's had an amputation of any sort knows the healing for that is awful. And I still had young children at home with me, so yeah. At one time, I had no breasts, I had no hair, I had no eyebrows. I just felt fucking horrible. It was very hard to express that to people, and to this day it's very hard to look at it and not like flashback because it's like, whoa girl, like you're 2 years out. I remember being sick and being like, I'm not gonna make it for 2 days, let alone 2 fucking years. Like, round of applause for yourself, girl. But then there's other days that it's like, why is this what I had to do to live? Like, people are out here just living, and it's like everybody has problems, but people are still just living, and this is what I had to do to live. It just, whew. Every aspect of breast cancer and breast cancer treatment has its own personal hell. So then there's radiation, which you say, oh girl, if you can do chemo, radiation will be nothing, right? So radiation, I will say, was out the easier of the 3 big events. But they also told me, you can see, they said that the left side would be a little darker than the right side, and that it would eventually go back to normal. I'm I think 1.5 years out from radiation, and it's winter, so I'm not in the sun, and it's never gone back to normal. So it's like, okay, so now my boobs are botched, and I also have to have 1 darker boob. Like, I don't understand. I really felt like I did something wrong in life to have this happen to me. That was my mindset at one point. But now that I've gone through it and I've seen how many women respond to what I've been through, and how many women are inspired to keep going by me talking about it, I definitely feel like I went through it because God knew I was strong enough. He knew I could testify and I could keep people going. So if anybody ever wants to know why, oh my God, why do you show them? Why are you okay with being topless online? What if your kids see that? What if my kids see this? My kids see this shit every day. My son used to find me in the bathroom sleeping during chemo. He used to hear me wake up crying after my mastectomy because I was in pain and my medicine wore off. So my kids have to see this every day. They love seeing me in this light. They love hearing people saying, wow, you're so strong, you're inspiring. Like, my son tells people about what his mommy went through because it helps him help other kids whose moms are going through things. I mean, this is all around a testimony, and I'm so happy to be here to be able to tell women to keep fighting. I didn't realize that I was going to be helping people with body image issues until I realized that I needed help with my body image issues. This is all a body image thing. Like, I can't prevent this. I can't make myself normal. I can't date without talking about it. I mean, if I'm ever intimate with someone, it's like, oh my God, I gotta take my shirt off. And I used to love taking my shirt off when I was intimate. I mean, not to sound like an entire whore, but like seriously, I mean, that was one of my like, ooh, look at my boobs, and like now it's like I'm not ready to take my shirt off. You know, it's just a lot to accept. And as time goes on, I won't say that it does get better. It just gets easier to cope with. And my advice for anybody with anything that they can prevent would be to accept it the best that you can, because if you don't accept it, how do we expect anybody else to accept it? Be forward with yourself. And really, you have to be here for yourself, because the saddest thing about treatment was that the people that I would have expected to be there just weren't there. I won't go into details. I'll just say that I lost a lot of friends. I don't talk to a lot of family now. I am a very much so independent person now, more than I've ever been. I'm not upset about that, but it was just very hard when you feel like people are supposed to be there for you and they're supposed to do certain things and they don't. So it's just like, whoa. But again, it's life. We learn. Through this, I learned that I had to be my own rock. I had to be my own motivational speaker. I had to be my everything. And I had to take care of me first before I could take care of others. I used to be the person that took care of everybody. So that is where I am now. I am independent. Now I am loving what I do on YouTube. I love what I do on my blog. I'm writing. I spend a lot of time working on myself so I can be great to my children, because I owe them that. They lost a lot of time with me during treatment. That is something I forever, it forever breaks my heart that I missed so much time with them, but I'm just happy that I didn't miss a lifetime with them. You get what I mean? So yeah, I am now done. I am different. I am changed, and I do believe it's for the better. And the changes that I made for myself, I don't think I would have made if I didn't go through what I went through. Now that I've taken so much time to take care of me and to work on me, and now that I know what my mission is, I want to inspire others. I want others to be able to look in the mirror and be okay with whatever they have, or whatever, and be okay with whatever they don't have, because sometimes the subtractions are just as important as the additions, guys. So you have to look at that too. So I hope this video reaches somebody who needs it. I really hope that through this, through my transparency and through me being okay with expressing my vulnerabilities, that I help someone get through whatever it is they're going through. It may not be cancer, whatever it is. I hope that you can find some gems in this tragedy that I've turned into a huge success and huge blessing on my life. And I really do thank you guys for watching. Sorry it was a day late. I'm so sorry, guys. I wanted to wait for my ring light. I was getting really emotional about it. I could barely do my makeup for this video, so I'm sorry it was a day late. I'm so sorry. I hope it was worth the wait. And I guess I don't want to say I hope you enjoyed this, but I hope this was informative, and I hope you learned something today. Until next time.